Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts, here to bring you live coverage of today's Lou Tompkins All-Star League 18 and under summer baseball contest between visiting Waltham and hosting Brookline. And I am not alone on the broadcast today, folks. We got a special treat here. My student broadcaster extraordinaire is joining me as the color commentator here, Sam Lowenstein. Sam, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me on today, Jesse. Brookline 3-1 won their last game though due to a forfeit, so they might have to shake off some rust here in this one.
They actually lost their most recent game. They got a win via a forfeit on Monday against Billerica, but lost on the road against Woburn. But you do bring up a good point, Sam, which is that they've had a couple of cancellations early, which is why they've only got 4 games on their record so far at 3-1. They've had 2 false starts at their home opener. A game against Medford ended up getting canceled. The game against Billerica on Monday ended up getting canceled. That one actually went down as a forfeit. They're still trying to reschedule the Medford game. But now here we've actually got, on third time's a charm, we've actually got their home opener for this summer season. Woburn coming in with a 4-2 record, so they've gotten to play a few more games, but it's been kind of a roller coaster so far, hasn't it, Sam?
Yeah, for sure. Up and down for Brookline.
For Waltham.
For Waltham as well. And for Brookline with all the cancellations, but Waltham started out really strong with a 4-0 record, but then as of late, they've been struggling. Their pitchers haven't been doing so well lately, and this should be a really good matchup. 2 even-matched teams today.
All right, and on that note, just a reminder, if you guys end up enjoying this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all of the upcoming live streams. And, of course, as always, we encourage audience participation in the live chat. Could be as simple as go Brookline or go Waltham, no matter who you're rooting for. We appreciate fans bringing the good vibes and showing their support. Then, of course, if you notice any technical difficulties with the stream, sometimes our second mic gives us a little trouble. So if all of a sudden you can't hear Sam talking, then let us know, and I'll work to fix it. I should probably notice it on my end, but you never know. I might, my headset might play tricks on me. And then also on the important side, especially for any Waltham fans tuning in, if we're messing up the pronunciation of any names, we encourage you to correct us in the live chat. And on that note, let's take a look at the starting lineups coming into today. We'll start with the visitors, Waltham. Leading off for Waltham today, the shortstop number 1, Eric Fiorentino. Batting second, the left fielder, number 3, Liam Connolly. Batting third, the third baseman, number 11, Timothy O'Toole. Batting cleanup and starting on the mound for Waltham today, number 2, Hunter Fucci. Batting fifth, the second baseman, number 6, Cam Aguirros. Batting sixth, the center fielder, number 8, Aiden Metallidis. Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 12, James Agostino. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 16, Owen Gregoire. Batting ninth, the first baseman, number 25, Billy Grant. And batting 10th, the extra hitter, number 7, Devin Harris. So that's the starting lineup for Waltham. Now let's take a look at the starting lineup for Brookline. Leading off for Brookline, the center fielder, number 42, Max Kaufman. Batting second, the right fielder, number 55, Hugh Bollinger. Batting third, the third baseman, number 27, Elias Brendel. Batting cleanup, the catcher, number 11, Jackson Fantuzzi. Batting fifth, the left fielder, number 21, Ellis Martino. Batting sixth, the second baseman, number 12, James Skeffington. Batting seventh, the first baseman, number 16, Noah Klein. Batting eighth, the designated hitter, number 88, Michael Doherty. Batting ninth and starting on the mound for Brookline today, number 2, Ben Cody. And not in the batting order, but starting in the field today for Brookline, the shortstop, number 7, Caden Sheehan. Head coach of the 18 and under Brookline summer baseball team is John Busey.
Bucci.
It's pronounced Busey.
Busey? I've always heard people say Bucci.
Yeah, they say it wrong. I checked with the man himself. No, but you're right, because a lot of people do call him Bucci. It's a simple pronunciation, and any hockey fans who have seen John Bucci Gross, they're going to think that's what it is. But it's actually, fun fact, pronounced Busey. Oh dear. People saying they lost my voice.
Yeah.
That is strange. It's the sound is still going up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
looks
no,
good.
it all looks good. Barbara Jo Metzger in the live chat saying they've lost my voice. Folks, confirm for me in the live chat that you can still hear me. Happy to see folks tuning in. Happy to see folks giving some help in the live chat. And I'm gonna double check here. See if I can hear this. Okay, we can hear me. I just opened another in another tab the live stream. We can hear it, so we can hear my voice. I don't know, something might Barbara, if you still can't hear me, that might be something
maybe it's a
on
Wi-Fi
your
thing,
end.
or it just went out for a second.
Yeah,
Could have
no.
just been on our end and it cut back.
Yeah, that might be it.
With all this wind, that's probably what it was.
Very possible. Very possible. But we do see Barbara Jo Metzger, one of our regulars in the live chat. Go Brookline from Grandma in Buffalo, New York, and Uncle Mike, too. Cheryl Bollinger saying the San Diego Bollingers are checking in, and Barbara Jo letting us know that sound is back now. So it must have just been a temporary cutout. So I'm hoping that's my heart attack for the day, Sam. I'm hoping I'm not chuckling that all day. But this should be a fun one. Two teams that have had their fair shares of ups and downs and arounds, and two teams that typically rank among some of the best in this Lou Tompkins League. I think this should be a fun one, don't you?
This is going to be a really fun game. Could go either way. With Waltham slumping right now, I think Brookline can take advantage, but at the same time, with all that rust, losing a game, Waltham's definitely got a shot, and I think there's really no way to predict this game.
Absolutely. And, hey, that's just the way we like it. The excitement of the unknown is one of the pillars of sports entertainment. So we're just... Oh, gosh, are we waiting on an official to show up?
Yeah.
I just realized I didn't see an official there, and I'm like, oh, no.
So it looked like everyone was set up, but Waltham did their chant. It looked like the game was about to start, but...
Oh, dear. So we might be a little delayed to the start
We'll
to
just
this
have to fill
ball
the
game.
time.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to fill the time. So that's gonna be fun. But hey, at the very least, we were talking about this before. We got a beautiful day for baseball out here today.
Exactly. Last time I was on, it was a cold game versus Boston Latin in Dorchester, right on the sea with all the wind coming in. I wasn't prepared for it. I was wearing a short sleeve shirt, and I was just freezing.
You were wearing shorts, you absolute maniac.
I didn't think it was going to be that cold.
Yeah, no. Fortunately, I always come with an extra jacket packed in my tripod bag. Normally, I have it packed for if it rains, so I can throw it over my laptop in a weather emergency. But we had a different kind of weather emergency in that game. As I had a cold color commentator, so
you saved me.
Hey, it's the experience. Trust me, I have been there plenty of times myself. I no longer have good circulation in my fingers or toes because of times when I was dumb and did not dress warmly enough for games. It's especially bad if you don't have gloves, and there aren't really good gloves for doing what I do, especially now because I have to operate the mouse pad to do everything on my laptop.
You get light gloves. I'd try that.
I've tried that before, and I've tried getting fingerless gloves.
Hand warmers.
Those are the
That's
goals.
what I would do.
That's what I gave. You know that because I gave you hand
Yeah.
warmers at that same Latin Academy game. So again, you know that because I taught you that. The student trying to teach the teacher the lesson that the teacher taught the student.
But I forgot that you gave me them.
Yes.
I just remember somehow. I thought it was like you gave me the jacket. You just like saved me.
After the game, I showed you guys the hand warmers that I always have with me because I always need those because my hands get cold so easily. In part because of my past and experience. So I'm trying.
I'm learning early. You're teaching me.
Exactly. I'm trying to save you.
You're saving me for sure.
Saving you long term.
You're saving my like long-term finger and frankly toe health.
Exactly.
Because I feel like for me, usually for some reason I got cold then, but the reason why I was wearing shorts was like I don't tend to get cold in my body. It's always just my fingers and toes. Because I'm used to moving around. I wasn't like expecting.
Exactly, and the fingers and toes are definitely the most susceptible to the cold. And it's like you said, you're used to running around when you're out in the colds. When you're younger, and then when you all of a sudden become the broadcaster, the guy standing in one spot for the whole game. And I remember we joked about how now you realize how your parents feel when they have to come to one of your games on a cold day and they're stuck sitting in the stands the whole day.
Exactly. I remember Little League games. My mom would always bring out this giant like sleeping bag, and I kind of understood why, but I wasn't sure because like it was always pretty warm in the fall. But now I understand that like 40 degrees, that's freezing.
Yeah. No, that's cool, and it's the wind chill that gets you. And
It's like they're getting started.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we got to do a nice little bit of mental visualization of what cold would be like here on a warm summer day. Here as it's 89 degrees, but we are in the shade as Warren has this nice spot that I shoot from right underneath a tree.
Or like a little wind tunnel.
And we got a very nice breeze. It's actually kind of windy today in general. Like this spot, usually not much of a wind tunnel, but we got it's a little windy today, which is kind of nice on a summer day. You never know if it might end up being an obstacle for the outfielders at any point today. That might be something to keep track of. It's not the most intense winds. I was telling you about that holiday tournament that I covered over at BC High, and that one is right on the ocean. Like you turn around and there it is, and that was a wind tunnel.
And that's how I felt that way at Boston Latin. I was like, how do these people play? If you're in the dugout, you must get so cold, or out in the outfield, playing right on the water.
Well, as we get ready for the top of the first, we take a look at the pitching stats for our starter here today for Brookline, number 2, Ben Cody. He had a very good outing against Jamaica Plain a couple weeks back in Brookline's second game of the season, second win, as he pitched a 5-inning shutout as Brookline won that one via mercy rule, 17-0. And he was very effective, allowed 1 hit, no free passes, just short of a 5-inning perfect game. So he was very effective, struck out 7, as you can see on the stats there. So he had a very good outing there. Did pitch during the holiday tournament. It was a shakier outing, not a bad outing, but one where it was just going up against a higher ranked team because Brookline was, a town team going up against some of those more privately organized travel teams. And so they were, facing a higher level of competition than they were used to. So it'll be interesting to see what Cody brings here against Waltham, and I think you're going to be in for a treat watching this young man pitch, Sam. He's got a very interesting delivery, as it almost looks like he curves in his wrist before he delivers it, almost turns his hand into a whip, which gives because he relies a lot more on the movement of his pitches rather than his power. He does have a fastball. It's not the strongest, and he almost goes the reverse of normal pitching convention. Most pitchers will pitch like 70% fastballs and then like 30% breaking balls. He's kind of the reverse. He'll pitch like 70% breaking balls and maybe 30% fastballs. So I think this is going to be a fun time for you watching him pitch here today.
So we have a ball come here over, almost hit us, bounced off the fence, but Cody, for sure, as you can see him pretty much only warming up with curveballs. That's the first fastball I've seen now. As he'll look to carry that good pitching performance, have another up for Brookline today. It's been a season of ups and downs, and that game with Cody, hopefully he can be a good luck charm for Brookline.
All right. The officials just talking with the coaches just over to our left over there. You can just see around the fence. So that's what we're waiting on. Officials got here a tad bit late, but we're still starting roughly on time. I mean, this game was slated for a 5:45 p.m. start. It's 5:47 now, and we're doing warm-ups for the top of the first inning. You know, that's not too bad.
It's really not bad at all.
You know, I've definitely seen worse in terms of delays. So this one should be a good one. A few key guys still absent for Brookline as that kind of happens in the summer season. You know, people travel, things like that. Among those absent, Keenan, Sawada, Ben Doctoroff, both Rosenblatt brothers, Adam and Ben, all of them traveling this week. But a couple of nice returns for Brookline of guys they didn't have available on Tuesday that have been top hitters for them. Elias Brendel and Michael Doherty, two dangerous guys. But one other top player absent is Jimmy DiPaolo, who got Brookline their only runs against Woburn on Tuesday with a 2-run single. He is not, at least not in the starting lineup today. I haven't seen him around here. So, you know, like I said, you kind of just shuffle who's in and who's out. But we are in this ball game now, leading off for Waltham here on the top of the first. The shortstop, number 1, Eric Fiorentino. Here comes our first pitch of the ball game. In there for strike 1.
And Cody starting out with a fastball, usually known for his breaking balls. He goes to the fastball delivery after warming up with only basically exclusively breaking balls.
Breaks that time, but it breaks low. Ball 1.
Not when a pitch you usually see with 2 strikes. Try to get a hit or swing. Almost got a swing out of Fiorentino, but was able to hold up. And now 1-1.
Yes. So we've seen it. We've seen a rare fastball. We've seen a common breaking ball. What'll come on the 1-1 pitch? This one's a high bouncer, foul up the third base line for strike 2.
For Brookline, you see Skeffington playing far back for Brookline, trying to have having generally the infield out. Fiorentino, a good power hitter. He chops that one foul.
1-2 the count. That comes in over his head, ball 2. And Sam, that's kind of the risk, isn't it, when you throw so many breaking balls? Sometimes they hang on you and they end up going not where you want them.
For sure, and that one almost bent back into the zone, just didn't have he didn't have that cut in his delivery that he usually has, didn't let it come back into the zone.
This one is lifted deep out to left, going back towards the wall, and it's all the way bouncing to the wall. A leadoff extra base hit for Fiorentino as he holds at second.
Ellis Martino was trying to back up for it, just went a little bit, just took a little bit of the wrong route, had to readjust and couldn't get to it. But a good throw back in by the center fielder for Brookline to get it in and only have a double for Fiorentino. That's good fielding.
So one big crack of the bat, and there's a runner in scoring position for Waltham. Now batting the left fielder, number 3, Liam Connolly. This one chopped foul and just over the head of the first baseman, bouncing over towards us.
It hits us.
That'll be strike 1.
That one bounced off my leg. Connolly sat on the breaking ball, still late to it. Like the shortstop, both shortstop and second base are covering second for Brookline.
That one misses just inside, ball 1.
And in most situations, you'll have one guy take the role, but both Sheehan and Skeffington, doesn't look like one's taking the responsibilities.
This a grounder right into the spot where the man was covering for the steal, and it's juggled out in right field by Bollinger, and in comes the first run of the ball game.
Bollinger left it behind him. Good throw back in.
And that right there is exactly why, baseball people always talk about the value of hitting to the opposite field because you were talking about the infielders covering second to keep an eye on Fiorentino. Skeffington, the second baseman, was pulled over to cover second because it was a righty hitter, assuming he would pull. He went opposite field, right to where Skeffington might have been able to cover, and he couldn't.
And Brookline making no defensive adjustments, still leaving that opposite field hole.
And this pop-up, and the first baseman, Noah Klein, under it for the first out as the third baseman, number 11, Timothy O'Toole, pops out on the first pitch he sees.
That one, a fastball coming in from Cody. He's used pretty much equal breaking balls and fastballs as of today.
And a quick one pitch out. One out runner at first. Now batting the pitcher, number 2, Hunter Fucci, as he takes a strike to the outside corner.
And that breaking ball just cut across the zone. Timothy O'Toole not taking a big lead for Waltham with both guys covering for Brookline. Staying conservative at first.
And this is a chopper foul up the third base side, strike 2.
Now O'Toole goaling off a little bit, taking a slightly bigger lead this time. Another fastball coming in from Cody. And the Waltham hitters, they've been late on both the breaking ball and the fastball, whether they're trying to drive it to the opposite field or he's just been good with deception of them.
This is a hard hit one towards short, and it gets through the left gap into left field. And that'll be a one-out single for Hunter Fucci. Pulls that one.
Hunter Fucci just put that in the right spot, just got by Mayfield-Sheehan now first and second. And Cody been big pitch to contact guy today. He's gotten good weak contact, but
he's also gotten some hard ones. Fiorentino launched his, and then, that was a pretty hard bouncer through the left gap. This pitch is blocked by Fantuzzi, prevents the wild pitch, holds the runners, but that will be ball 1 to the second baseman, number 6, Cam Aguirres.
Fantuzzi almost headbutted that. He just hit it back, came off the catcher's mask. Off the bouncer from Cody.
This one hit foul up the first base line. That'll be strike 1.
Follows that one barely going foul. Hard hit ball. Another opposite field hit. Here for Waltham. Now Brookline shifting over. Not as aggressive as a shift to cover the opposite field.
This one lined out to right center. It's going to drop in, bounce through the gap. One run is going to come in. Aguirres is going to hold at first with an RBI single as Waltham goes up 2.
Max Kaufman hit the one-hopper, spun around him, was able to throw it back in. That's a really good throw from him. And that one possibly saved a run. Now runners on the corners.
And at very least kept Aguirres from going to second base on that for a double. Granted, they now threat with the potential double steal with runners at the corners, but, still better than second and third for the moment. One out. Now up comes the center fielder, number 8, Aiden Metallidis.
Brookline going back to their aggressive shift, leaving that opposite field open to shift over to center as they took it off for the last hitter.
Swing and a miss there, strike 1. We've really seen quite the mix of pulling and going opposite field. Fiorentino and Fucci both pulled. Connolly and Aguirres both going opposite field. They've been hitting it all over the place here in the top of the first.
For sure, Jesse. They've been just able to keep Ben Cody honest.
And that one tipped, strike 2. Aguirres started to take off for second under the assumption that it was a swinging strike wild pitch, but they say that Metallidis got a piece of that one, and so that'll be a dead ball, foul ball, strike 2.
Waltham with their speed on the bases. Brookline's had to account for second, had to play aggressively in the steals. That's left a lot of holes open, those opposite field shots. If you see around second, there's an open hole in that gap.
And another foul tip. Metallidis will stay alive at 0-2.
That one a breaking ball from Cody in the opposite field stuff. Cody's been able to keep him sitting back on pitches. Not sure what's coming, but the opposite field has worked out and been against him.
And Cody takes a beat off the rubber to keep the runners honest.
Keep him honest and give. Now give Skeffington as he shifts back over into the second base hole between first and second.
Runner taking off for second. Low ball one. Throw down to second. They get the runner. No, they don't. They miss. They go home, and they did not get either of them.
They called him out at home, and then the umpire looked like he changed the sign to safe.
That's what it looked like. It looks like
he had the out sign.
Yeah, I think you
They
wonder if
switched
maybe it popped out of his glove. It might have been an incomplete tag. But Fucci steals home on the double steal and scores. Egeraus steals second. And now it's a 3-0 lead for Waltham in the top of the first with a runner at second and one out. The pitch itself was a ball, so it's a 1-2 count now to Metallidis. Brookline decided to go aggressive when defending the double steal, and they whiff on both throws. And that's a high ball, too.
Man, that's why Brookline were so aggressive earlier in defending second base with both the second baseman and the shortstop. As soon as they move Skeffington into the hole, then the double steal happens, and Waltham's doing a really good job playing small ball.
This one sliced foul, and Metallidis has really put up a fight here. He took 2 quick strikes, but since then he's fouled off 2 and taken 2 balls. Battled his way to a 2-2 count here.
Really, all these Waltham hitters just been pesky at bats. Really tough outs for Cody.
And this one's a foul ball headed right for us. And
that one scared me. I thought he was going to hit us.
Gets diverted by the trees. That's what the other nice thing is. This tree helps protect us. There's a ball. 2-2 the count, and he chased it low, strike 3, but the throw got away. Fantuzzi trying to chase after it. He's not going to get there, and so they don't get out number 2 despite the strikeout, as Metallidis is going to reach on a dropped third strike.
Opportunistic play by Metallidis, and Brookline just cannot catch a break. Here in the first, Fantuzzi struggled to corral it. And the speed of Metallidis has just been a really tough inning for them, and now a mound visit.
And it's been a tough start. Has been a tough start as we see assistant coach Brian Sheehan out there to talk with starting pitcher Ben Cody, as Waltham has done a pretty good job getting bat on ball, but then even when he gets them out, a tough break there. And they're staying with him, and Sam, that might have just been a case where you're just trying to settle your pitcher down after he gets a really bad break like he did on that dropped third strike.
Cody did a good job, was battling the whole at bat, got him out, but in a season of ups and downs for Brookline, this game has just looked like a down so far, just the breaks haven't been coming for them.
Now batting for Waltham with 1 out and runners on the corners, it is the right fielder, number 12, James Agostino. Metallidis with a big lead off of first. Takes off.
He's going.
Swing and a miss. Throw down to second. They cut it off this time. And it was juggled by Sheehan, but the runner still held at third. As they didn't go for the full play at second this time, they played a little more conservatively to cover more for the player at home, having fallen for the double steal earlier this inning.
Now Brookline playing their infield in, changing up their formation once again. Looks like they're just trying different things to somehow put away these Waltham hitters, as Edwards chose not to go home. Looked like he got a big jump there, was thinking about it, but decided to stay, not playing the ultra-aggressive move for Waltham.
And this is a pretty standard formation for this situation. Runners at second and third and less than 2 outs, as this one's fouled off and out of play. And it will stay an 0-2 count to Agostino. Because what they're hoping for is they're hoping that they get a grounder that they can throw home to tag out the leading runner. So that's why they've got the infield in, to be sure. All 4 infielders up on the grass. I think the third baseman, Brendel, might be the furthest back just to account for the man at third.
Now both base runners for Waltham taking big leads, trying to get in the head of the Brookline players.
And
they've just created havoc this inning.
And Agostino giving another battle here as he's stayed alive with a couple foul balls. Count still 0-2. Ooh, just high. It looked like for a second he was about to call strike, but went from the strike fist to a high hand signal there. Ball 1.
For sure, Jesse. And that one looked like it just clipped the top of the zone. Umpire doesn't give the call. Yet another bad break.
That's a foul ball. And that's the tough thing with breaking balls is it's not a matter of where it hits the catcher's glove. It's a matter of where does it cross the front of the plate. So it can be so hard to tell from our perspective where exactly it came in and did it actually hit the zone.
And to me, it looked like it was below his shoulders, but again, we can't tell what side of the plate it was on. There's a lot of stuff we can't see.
Swing and a miss. He gets the third strike that time. No dropped third strike.
And the ball don't lie there. Cody finally getting his second out. And the break's not proving too harmful.
Yep, it's been a tough inning for Cody, but he's showing some fortitude here. Is now at 2 outs. Up comes the catcher, number 16, Owen Gregoire. And that one's inside, ball 1. And you've been talking about those infield formations, Sam, and now they've pulled the infielders back because they're not focused on the lead runner. They're focused on getting the third out now that there's 2 outs.
And Brookline have just they've abandoned the steal thing. Now with the runners on second and third, don't have to worry about the runner on first.
Well, the runner at first, the runner going to first, the only one they're going to worry about now. They want to get the force out.
But in terms of stolen bases.
Oh, for sure. It's a bouncer. That's going to go through the left gap. That's going to score at least 1. Runner's coming home. Close play at the plate. Fantuzzi's got him. Great throw from left field by Ellis Martino. And while 1 run does come across for Waltham, Brookline ends the inning.
And a great play by Martino. Hit it off a 1 hop, threw it off 1 leg, and perfectly guns it to Fantuzzi for the out. And Brookline finally getting out of the top of the first. And their fielding coming through in the end.
And we didn't really see any particular fielding mistakes. No errors outside of the dropped third strike that inning. So only 1 unearned run for Ben Cody in that inning. Just some very solid hitting from Waltham. But now Brookline with a chance to answer, as that was Egeraus that scored and Metallidis that got thrown out at home by the great throw from left field by Ellis Martino. As Brookline now coming to the plate, their top 3 hitters will face off against the Waltham pitcher Hunter Fucci. And, you know, Sam, I wonder, having looked at that last play, you saw Mayfield-Sheehan act as if he was fielding a deep grounder at short, and you wonder if maybe that might have slowed up Metallidis by even just a step. Hard to say whether that made a difference in the play, as it was a great throw and a great tag by Fantuzzi to get him out by a considerable distance. But you never know. Sometimes it's the little things.
Definitely those little things. And I think fielding is, in a tough inning for Brookline, I think their fielding was really well. Max Kaufman had a great throw in from the outfield, and that throw from Ellis Martino. I think Brookline's going to be able to turn it around. Tends to be when the fielding is good, then the team plays well. Especially in these tournament high school games where there's a lot of pitch to contact. If you can put the ball in play, that's going to be really effective. Fielding is everything.
And we're going to have the top 3 Brookline hitters: Kaufman, Bollinger, and Brendel. That'll be coming up against Hunter Fucci. And, you know, like I said, Brookline missing some of their key guys, and it definitely hurt their offensive production on Tuesday against Woburn. We'll see how they handle it here against Waltham. And they do have a couple of key guys back in Brendel and Doherty, but they've got some of the same key guys out, like Sawada and Doctoroff, and then they've got another key guy out in Jimmy DiPaolo, who is currently the team leader in doubles, runs scored, and RBI. And also the guy who drove in both of Brookline's 2 runs in their 4-2 loss to Woburn on Tuesday.
And Brookline, they'll definitely need those bats from Doherty and Brendel to come back here in this 4-hole. Still really manageable in the bottom of the first, but they're going to need to act with some urgency, especially how the ball has been flying today. It's been hard to field. Ball's quickly gone through the infield. It's been difficult. They're going to need the offense.
No question about that. All right, looks like the warm-ups are wrapping up here for Waltham.
About to start
and
up.
We'll get this one started. Leading off for Brookline as the center fielder, number 42, Max Kaufman. And I haven't quite made the stat graphic for Kaufman yet. My apologies for that. But Kaufman had his first plate appearances of the season on Tuesday against Woburn. He's 0 for 3 so far this season. He's got 2 runs that he's scored as a courtesy runner. We'll see what he does here as he takes a very fast ball from Fucci for strike 1.
Fucci really the opposite of Cody. He's dialing it up. And that one really hard, much faster than the breaking balls we've seen today.
That one comes in low, ball 1. 1-1, the count to Kaufman.
And that one definitely had some cut on it, like a cut fastball. Came low and inside.
Swing and a miss there, strike 2.
Kaufman laid on that one again. And Waltham, unlike Brookline, playing no shifts. Pretty much a straight-up formation on defense.
That one missing to the outside, and I feel like you see a lot more of those shifts when you've got runners on base that you're trying to cover for. I mean, that's definitely a lot of what we saw with Brookline in that top half.
And also, Brookline had some shifts with no runners on, too.
That one tipped, and I mean, Waltham had runners on base pretty much the entire inning.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they might have had a shift on when Fiorentino was up, but that was literally the only time the bases were empty. That one misses, ball 3. So Kaufman, despite facing the tremendous speed of Fucci, thanks to a foul tip that the catcher couldn't grip, he's been able to battle his way to a full count here. He connects on this one. It's a deep shot out to right center, but the center fielder is back to make the catch for out number 1.
Liam Connolly backing up. Did a good job to get there in right center for the catch. Perfectly squared under it.
Yep, but I'll tell you what, Sam. Having your first batter, a guy who hasn't come to the plate as much, having him get bat on ball and send it far like that against a guy throwing as hard as this, that sets a potentially good precedent for Brookline. We'll see if they can follow it up.
You bet, and also all that velocity coming from Fucci, that's going to go the other way, so Brookline can just barrel it up. The balls are going to fly.
Not velocity on that one as he goes breaking ball for strike 1 to the Brookline right fielder, number 55, Hugh Bollinger. That one catches the outside corner, strike 2. Bollinger's season stats so far, you can see at the bottom of your screen, 1 for 2 with 2 walks, a stolen base, and a run scored. That one's going to miss. Outside, ball 1.
Takes it up and away. And Waltham with their center fielder, Eric Fiorentino, playing a deep center for them.
Waltham, that one catches the zone, strike 3.
And that pitch cut back into the zone. came around the inside corner. That was what Ben Cody was trying to do. Fucci executed it well, and that one just looped its way back in to cut the corner.
So we got one catch by the center fielder, Aiden Metallidis, and one strikeout from the pitcher, Fucci. Now coming to the plate for Brookline, the third baseman, number 27, Elias Brendel. First pitch in there, strike one. Brendel, he's had a productive start to the season, 3 for 5, 1 double, 3 walks, 5 runs scored, and 6 RBI, second on the team in RBI.
Been one of those core guys for Brookline this year, and his return could play a big factor in their chances to win today.
Going to be tough to get things going here with 2 down and the bases empty. 1-1 the count. That one's going to miss for ball 2.
As Waltham just cruising today. It's been a dream start for them. Season that they were slumping in the last couple games after a really good start to their season, but today they've been able to turn it around.
That one in the zone, strike 2. It's a 2-2 count to Brendel with 2 down here. Fucci trying to get his second consecutive strikeout. Brendel just trying to keep the inning going.
And Fucci's just looked great this inning. He's been executing the breaking ball well, the fastball well. There hasn't been anything that's gone wrong for him, and he's had great deception too.
That one going to miss to the outside, and we got another full count, just like we saw with Kaufman.
And the Brookline hitters have been able to work Fucci well. His command's been a little bit off today.
And he gets a piece of it just barely. Might have been able to draw a ball 4 there, but you gotta play some defense at the plate when you got 2 strikes.
And that breaking ball looked like it was a strike, just dipped down at the last second, then ended up in the dirt.
Still full count. That one curves in for strike 3. After all those fastballs, he goes breaking ball to get the last out of the first.
And the second strikeout, and the second looking strikeout for Fucci on a curveball. He tagged the outside corner, and this one just split the plate. As the movement was able to get him in a tough first inning for Brookline. Nice Kaufman had good contact, but he flied out, and the 2 strikeouts, and then pitching-wise, seemed like everything that could go right for Waltham went right. Nothing Brookline did wrong or anything. Had no errors besides the drop third strike. Just so many hits.
And we'll see how this ends up playing out in the second inning. At the end of 1, our score, Waltham 4, Brookline 0. And so, not just a tough first inning, but a short break for Cody coming back in the second inning. But one thing I have seen in some games before is that sometimes when you have a rocky first inning, what's nice about the second inning is usually you're facing the bottom of the order. Unless you got completely batted around, you're probably facing the bottom of the order in the second inning, and that can be a good way to get your rhythm back, shift some momentum, and, help keep the mentality stable for the pitcher going forward.
For sure, and a lot of times after a tough first inning, pitchers, for that reason, are able to rebound and maybe go a couple innings. Cody just settled down. He pitched pretty well, had some good movement on his pitches. Got hit pretty hard, but definitely some signs of life in the end of the first.
Yep. So we'll see. It'll be the 9, 10, 1 hitters coming up for Waltham in the top of the second. Grant, Harris, and Fiorentino. And of course, Fiorentino started off that explosive first inning rally with the biggest hit of the day so far, that double to deep left.
That really set the tone, set Brookline in a bad defensive position as they were shifting all around, trying to plug the holes that Waltham were able to hit in. And then the stolen bases got them. Waltham played perfect small ball in the first inning.
Now leading off for Waltham, the first baseman, number 25, Billy Grant. First pitch, skies it, playable. Brendel under it, tracking, and he's got it. 1 pitch, 1 out. A much better start to the inning for Cody and Brookline.
That's a dream start for Cody. Just settle in, get a quick out to calm your mind.
Now batting the extra hitter, number 7, Devin Harris. That one hits the zone for strike 1.
On a solid fastball. And Ben Cody's actually been using a lot of fastballs today, known for using more breaking balls, but
I think he just went back-to-back fastballs. Did I see that right?
that one looked like a little bit of a break to me.
Okay.
More like a hard breaking ball.
I trust your eyes better than mine. Only one of us has corrective lenses, as that one dips low for ball 1.
That one bounced, and Ben Cody, you can just see, way more confident this inning. Then in the first, he got rocked. So now time is called.
This one's a dribbler back to the off his foot. It's a dead ball, foul ball.
And that one looked like a fair ball.
Well, it was in fair territory, but the rule, if
Yeah,
it goes
if it comes off your foot.
And I think because of the weird trajectory it went, where it went straight down but didn't bounce but just rolled, suggested that it came off the foot.
Yeah.
This one fouled off as well. Harris staying alive and battling with a 1-2 count.
All the Waltham hitters have been tough to put away. Been just working at bats, making it hard for Cody to get easy outs.
And he chased that one low. It's blocked by Fantuzzi. He's got it cleanly. Third strike was dropped, but this time easy to execute the throw to first for out number 2.
Now 2 quick outs for Brookline. Ben Cody really settling in the seconds. Look like a different pitcher this second inning.
Well, not even so much a different pitcher as much as he's stayed stable, and they just haven't been hitting it as well. But you're right, definitely looking much better. Fiorentino, first pitch, hits a hard grounder. This time it's right to Brendel for the 5-3 ground out, and Waltham goes down in order.
And Cody doing a good job selling. And as you said, Jesse, it didn't look actually that different. It was just Waltham wasn't hitting it in the open spots. Brookline had their lucky breaks come back.
Yeah, no, you definitely saw with that grounder, like that was about as hard and well hit as some of the base hits that Waltham got, but it was right at a fielder instead of in the gaps. And that just shows you how frustratingly close the difference between a shutout inning and a blow-up inning can be, is sometimes it's just where the ball goes.
For sure.
Well, Brookline will be hoping for some better results in the bottom of the second, as they'll be sending out their 4, 5, 6 hitters, Fantuzzi, Martino, and Skeffington. Fucci looked very good in that first inning, a very powerful pitcher. Throws a hard ball. Brookline gave him a fight, as he did struggle a bit with control. Got a couple of full count at-bats. Got pretty deep into a couple of those at-bats. And with a hard thrower like this, sometimes it can be a victory if you can just push up his pitch count, get them to pull him a little sooner than they would like.
And that's what Brookline was trying to do. Those, as you said, those full counts were good, but in the end, Fucci was still striking him out. He has that decisiveness. He can finish off these at-bats. And in general, he was in command of his pitches. Seemed unstoppable in the first.
We'll see how this next line of Brookline hitters handles him.
So Waltham warming up. They're looking really good in the field so far. And Waltham, they're not the team that I was hearing about. I heard about them struggling the last couple games. This definitely doesn't look like a team that's been playing bad.
Well, you remember what the coach was saying was the difference that was made was pitchers weren't hitting the strike zone. And that's everything at this level. If you don't hit the strike zone, then you've got no chance at getting batters out. A guy might hit it to a good spot, or a fielder might drop a ball, okay, fine. But when you give a batter a free pass, there's literally zero chance of you getting an out. We start the bottom of the second, leading off for Brookline, the catcher, number 11, Jackson Fantuzzi. First pitch swung on and missed, strike one.
That's a breaking ball coming from Fucci. Used a fastball way more in the first inning, but kept him honest there.
Fantuzzi so far this summer, 0 for 4, 2 hit by pitches, 1 steal, 2 runs, 1 RBI. That one catches the low corner, strike two.
And that one really sped up. Looks super fast. Fucci, and a lot of guys at this age level, they can hit 80, if not sometimes 85 miles per hour. That's the kind of stuff that he's been throwing.
And that one hit by Fantuzzi through the gap. And Brookline's got their first runner aboard as Fantuzzi gets his first hit of the summer. Ironically, off probably the hardest throwing pitcher he's faced in this Lou Tompkins season.
They're bringing in a pinch runner.
A courtesy runner. There's an important difference because Fantuzzi's a catcher. You're allowed to bring in a substitute runner, who in this case is number 14, Max Johnson, and you're able to bring him in without making any kind of substitution in the field or the batting order. They allow this for pitchers and catchers because you don't want to tire them out running with all that they have to do in their duties as part of the battery. First pitch to the left fielder, number 21, Ellis Martino, is strike one.
Ellis Martino had the great throw in from the outfield in the first inning to end the inning. So he was able to gun it to Fantuzzi.
That one a swing and a miss, strike two. Breaking ball fooling Martino. So far this season, he is 1 for 9 with a double, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. Pickoff throw, and Johnson comes back standing up, which was a little risky. But
he almost got him.
Yeah, but he gets back safe.
Johnson taking a really big lead. Already almost to the pitcher's mound, and
dives back this time.
And he nearly
Boy,
got him.
I heard the excitement in your voice. You know, one of those moments where you're at the end of a sentence, but then something happens. 0-2, still the count to Martino. That's a high ball one. Breaking ball didn't break enough that time. And it's a 1-2 count.
And Max Johnson doing a good job to distract. He's really been distracting Fucci this whole time.
As that's a low ball two. And one thing to note, Sam, you talked about the gap on the right side of the infield. When you got the first baseman having to cover for the runner at first, that leaves things open. If a righty is able to go opposite field, there's a much huger gap to cover. Johnson takes off, swing and a miss, strike three. Johnson down to second, slides in,
gets
safe.
away.
Throw gets away, but he had to slide in, so wasn't able to pop back up and go for third. That will be the first out of the inning as Martino goes down swinging, but Johnson puts a runner in scoring position for Brookline.
Brookline doing what Waltham was able to do in the first, get the stolen bases going, havoc on the base paths, and just generate something.
Now batting the second baseman, number 12, James Skeffington, as he fouls that one off for strike one. Skeffington so far this summer, 1 for 4, with 1 walk, 1 steal, and 1 run scored. If he can get a base hit, he could potentially get his first RBI of the summer, with Johnson, the courtesy runner, standing at second.
So I mean, just a bit late on that with the heat.
That one misses high and in, ball one.
Fucci trying to generate that curveball, cutting back into the zone, could not get it going.
That one misses to the outside, ball two.
Now that command, that's so important for Waltham, as the coach said. Now Fucci struggling a little bit with command. Brookline's been able to generate something.
And he lifts this one out to right, but a chance for the right fielder. Can't make it! Bounces past him. Extra bases, and Brookline will get on the board. Johnson in to score. Skeffington stretching it to 3. And he slides in safe with the RBI triple.
It got behind the diving Agostino, tried to make a play on it, got his glove just a little bit behind it. A clutch hit by Skeffington.
Big play as, like you said, James Agostino played that one aggressively, tried to go for the sliding catch, couldn't make it. And when you opt for that, you take a risk that it bounces by you and turns into some extra bases.
And he almost made the catch, but as you were saying, that wide open hole on the right side of the infield proved crucial.
Well, that flew over the infield. That wasn't bouncing through. That was a liner. Now batting with Skeffington standing at third, and Brookline now securely on the board with their first run. At the plate is the first baseman, number 16, Noah Klein. He hits a grounder over to short, fielded cleanly, thrown to first, over the outstretched glove of the first baseman. Skeffington was coming in to score either way, but now they can't even get the second out as Klein will reach on the E6. And for those of you stat keepers out there, that will still go as an RBI for Noah Klein, as Skeffington was going to score either way. It just would have been on an RBI ground out, but instead it's an RBI reach on error. Now at the plate, the designated hitter, number 88, Michael Doherty, who takes ball 1.
Doherty, one of the core best hitters on Brookline, making his return today.
He missed Tuesday's game at Woburn, but so far this summer, very productive. 4 for 7 with a double, a walk, 4 steals, 4 runs, and 4 RBI as he takes strike 1 there.
And this is the guy you want for Brookline here in this rally inning, coming back against Waltham. Waltham took a 4-0 lead for those who are new joining in the first inning. But Brookline have scored 2 in this inning coming back.
That one gets away. It's a ball and a wild pitch, or pass ball, depending on how you call it. Either way, Klein moves into scoring position.
And as the Waltham coach was saying, location, location, location. That's what's been important for them now, as Fucci's been wild, and he showed some signs of it in the first inning, was able to settle it down, but now it's really came out.
Doherty slices that one out of play. Strike 2. 2-2 now the count to the Brookline DH.
You're on the base pass, Noah Klein, not taking a big lead though. And for Waltham, they're playing their second baseman in the hole, not overcommitting him. They haven't been using nearly as many shifts as Brookline's. Worked out to their advantage to have the typical formation for the most part for Waltham.
Full count now to Doherty. Swing and a miss. Chased the breaking ball for strike 3, 2 down.
And Fucci, even when he's pitching outside the zone location, has been off and on. His stuff has been so good, he's been able to generate the swing and miss. And now that's 3 strikeouts on the breaking ball for Fucci this game.
And 4 strikeouts in total for Fucci so far. As now coming up for Brookline, the pitcher, number 2, Ben Cody. First pitch in the zone, strike 1. Cody so far at the plate, 0 for 4 with a walk, a run, and an RBI.
So now Waltham chooses to commit both their shortstop and second baseman to second.
And they do go for the pickoff throw, but Klein dives back safe.
Now realizing more of the on-base threat. Now they're deploying the same formation as Brookline was in the field, and a little bit less aggressive to plug the holes.
That's going to be a high ball 1 to Cody.
You know, battle of the pitchers, Cody, and a huge spot for Brookline.
And that's a low ball 2. And battle not just of the pitchers, but also battle of the number 2s, as a fun little coincidence.
Yeah.
2-1 the count with 2 down in the bottom of the second inning with a runner at second. A lot of twos going on right now.
A lot of twos. and it's 4-2.
As now that's 2 strikes as Cody
now it's
swings.
2-2, and Brookline with 2 in the bottom of the second, and it's the second side of the inning.
We're having fun here, folks.
If only it was a 2-2 game.
And that one either in the zone or he failed to check his swing. Either way, strike 3 to Cody. And again, Fucci ends it with back-to-back strikeouts, but Brookline was able to cut the lead in half.
And in that inning, Brookline was able to get the bats alive, had a bunch of good line shots. They played well. The first inning looked like just shaking off some rust from the lack of experience in the last couple games for the Warriors. Now they played really well in the second.
Yep. And remember, they're technically not the Warriors.
Oh.
Because this isn't affiliated with the high school.
Oh, thought it was.
Nah, no. It's affiliated with the town, but not with the high school. I know, it's weird.
It was just Brookline then.
Yeah, just Brookline.
It's confusing.
Yeah, no, it is confusing because it's like now we've got all these teams with just one name. Like they're all out here trying to be Madonna or something. But yeah, just the town name. Brookline and Waltham. Like if this was during the high school season, it would be the Warriors against the Hawks, but
just Brookline and Waltham now.
Yep. Granted, I don't think anyone's going to have any issue with you calling them the Warriors if that happens.
It's just to be like official.
Yeah. Never hurts to have more information, I say.
Exactly.
It'll be the 2-3-4 hitters coming up as Cody returns to the mound for his third inning of work for Brookline. It'll be Connolly, O'Toole, and Fucci. 2 of those 3 hitters got singles and came in to score during that first inning rally. Cody was able to rebound against Fiorentino, who got a big hit against him in the first inning, got him to hit a hard ground out to third to end the second inning. We'll see how he handles the Waltham hitters here in the third, as leading off is the left fielder, number 3, Liam Connolly. And the first pitch catches the high inside corner for strike 1.
Takes it straight, that one cut back in. Brookline having their shortstop play around second.
That one tipped, and that'll be strike 2.
Oh, but he's going.
Oh, he
thought it was fair.
Well, I think what it is if the ball's in the infield, it can't be called a foul ball until a fielder touches it or until it hits a fence. That's one of the more silly loopholes of it, just in case it rolls into fair territory. This one a grounder up the middle, diving snag by Sheehan, but he's not going to have time to get it to first. And that'll be a leadoff infield, well, technically infield single, even if it was on the outfield grass. But either way, Connolly gets to first safely.
Sheehan just had too far of a route to get there. Brookline staying with their same formation pretty much. Deciding not to shift over too much now with the runner on first.
Now batting the third baseman, number 11, Tim O'Toole. Liner right at Klein for the double play. The Brookline defense gets a lucky break in turns 2.
Heads up play by Noah Klein, and that one was shot on a liner from Timothy O'Toole. Brookline, the breaks are coming back for them for sure. The first inning, it was all Waltham, but now some of that luck's always going to come back eventually. Now we're seeing that.
Now batting with 2 down and the base is empty, the pitcher, number 2, Hunter Fucci. First pitch, and he lines a shot out to left. That's going to be another base hit as Fucci with his second single of the day. And, oh, sorry.
And Brookline now, they're accounting for the right side of the infield, not the left side. Now the left side has the open holes. Fucci was able to
the right side's going to have the open hole now with Klein covering first to account for Fucci. As now coming to the plate, the second baseman, number 6, Cam Egiraus. As the first pitch comes in high, Fantuzzi thought about a throw down to first, but decided against it. It'll be a 1-0 count. And it's wild to think how similar the results for the first 3 hitters of this inning were to their results back in the first inning, as this one is going to be lined into shallow right, drops in front of Bollinger for another single.
Dropped right in between Skeffington and Bollinger. Bollinger had to get on a one hop and throw it in.
And it really has been the same. In the top of the first, it went single for Connolly, out to the first baseman by O'Toole, single by Fucci, single by Eguraus. Now this inning, it's gone single by Connolly, a line out to first by O'Toole.
And double play.
And then a single from Fucci and Eguraus. So aside from the double play, it's been much the same thing. And, well, for Brookline will certainly be hoping it's not the same thing here as Aiden Metallidis comes to the plate in his last time up. He reached on a dropped third strike, and he does now face a 2-strike count. Could this turn into another strikeout of his, and could Brookline actually get the out proper this time?
And when Ben Cody's been able to get the strikeouts in that second inning, strikeout numbers were good. When he's able to get swing and miss, that's been the key for him.
Swing and a miss, and boy,
there he gets it.
I quasi-called it there as Ben Cody escapes the late third inning rally, gives up 3 base hits and 0 runs.
And then you jinxed Waltham.
I did. I think I jinxed both of them there as Cody collects, I believe, his 4th strikeout. He had 2 in the first, including the dropped third strike. 1 in the second, and then 1 in the third. We move now to the bottom of the third with the score now still 4-2 in favor of Waltham. It'll be the top of Brookline's lineup coming up: Kaufman, Bollinger, and Brendel.
In Brookline, besides that first inning, they've played really well in terms of pitching. Ben Cody's done a good job. And even in the first, a lot of the hits, they weren't Brookline's fault. Just were in the wrong spots.
More just the fault of good hitting than bad fielding.
Yeah. And not even bad fielding.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. Not bad fielding, but good hitting.
Oh, you said good fielding and good hitting and bad fielding. Fucci looks to settle down here in the third after a rocky second. He throws so hard. Catcher's been having a lot of trouble. As Gregoire, he's been dropping a lot of balls thrown by Fucci.
There was that one passed ball the previous inning.
And here in warm-ups, I've seen a couple pass balls now.
And we'll see as we've got, Brookline cycling through the order the second time. We saw a little bit of a mirror result for the Waltham hitters, but with less scoring to show for it there in the top of the third. Now in the bottom of the third. 1 second. Hey, Brian. Just a little over to the left so you don't block the hitters. Thank you. Yeah, your left. So now leading off for Brookline, the center fielder, number 42, Max Kaufman. And Brookline will certainly be hoping they don't get a mirror result for their top 3 hitters as they went down in order back in the bottom of the first.
Max Kaufman set one to deep center. Had an unlucky fly out, but made good contact on it. And Fucci was really revving it up in that first inning. Kaufman did a good job.
And he revved it up for that first strike in this at bat. And
that one
misses, and another one popping out of the glove. You were noticing the pattern, Sam.
Another pass ball.
Well, not a pass ball.
Or pass ball with another drop.
Yeah, it would be a pass ball if a runner advanced. But this is, this is the time to have those misconnections. Swing and a miss there. I think he went a little off speed on that one. It looks
like
Kaufman.
Whiff bad.
Yeah, he was out in front of that one. When you've got as much heat as Fucci, a good changeup can be deadly.
Looked like a breaking ball there, like a slurve, cut across the zone. It made him look silly.
And that fastball makes him look like a guy who just struck out, as that is strike 3. Hits the high inside corner with the fastball.
That high fastball's been working really well for Fucci. Followed up by the breaking ball. As long as Gregoire can catch it, because he's been dropping a lot of the high. It's been a lot of the high fastballs drifting to his left. The high and inside stuff, but as long as he's catching it, it's been effective.
Now batting is the right fielder, number 55, Hugh Bollinger, as he either failed to check his swing or that hit the low corner. Either way, strike one.
Looked like it tagged the corner.
That one's going to miss, ball one. One advantage that Bollinger does have, he's one of the smaller players, so a smaller strike zone could potentially give some trouble if Fucci's not able to control his spots. But he controls his spot there to the inside part of the plate for strike two.
That one, another breaking ball cutting into the zone. And this inning so far has looked like a mirror image of the first inning for Brookline, if not even worse.
That one gonna miss, high for ball two. Bollinger went down on strikes on a 2-2 count his last time up.
Just like in the first inning, Brookline's been able to work Fucci, work good at bats, but still been striking out here in this one.
Yeah, in fact, Kaufman's at bat was one of the quicker ones as he got him with a 1-2 count without any fouls. That one inside doesn't cut back. Full count now to Bollinger.
That one almost looked like it was about to cut back. Bollinger dropped back and nearly clipped the inside corner.
That one hits the...
I dropped their strike.
Wait, no, he changed his signal to ball four. I think. Bollinger's running it out just in case, but... The ump was saying it was dead. He called it a walk. This ump has had a couple. I think this is the second or third time that he's had an initial call that was slightly changed. You know, I mean, it's just an observation. You know, people know I am generally an advocate for the officials. They do a thankless job for little to no pay. And if you disrespect them, then we'll lose them, and we need them to have the game. So I generally respect them, but. This ump has had a few instances of sort of changing his hand signals mid-signal.
And he had a play where he said that one of the Waltham runners, Fantuzzi, called him out, and then after he said he was out, he called him safe. Again, I have a lot of respect for baseball umpires. I baseball umpired a couple years ago. It's a really hard job, but I think changing the calls, that's gonna put everyone in a tough position.
It's just going to throw everyone off a little bit. And it's almost not even changing his calls so much as he's, like, making the signal and then changing it.
He's like doing the out thing, and then he, like, switched it to safe.
Yeah.
But then almost looked like he went back to out. It's like he's indecisive with it.
At the plate is the third baseman, number 27, Elias Brendel, as he fouls that one to the backstop. So the official call on Bollinger was a walk. It was ball four, so he stands at first with one out. Brendel with a 1-1 count. He went down on strikes his last time up, hoping, like Bollinger, he can get a better result here. Bollinger taking off. Brendel golfs it out to left, and it's within range for the left fielder, and Bollinger has to trot back to first. Able to do it pretty nonchalantly as it went out to left field, but that... will leave a runner at first with now 2 down.
And you wonder with the umpire thing, if that plays with the emotions of the team that the call goes against, because whenever a call is made, that's going to make you think, did I do something wrong? Did I get robbed?
It'll certainly be something to watch out for, but it's happened to both sides at this point.
Yeah, evens it out.
2 down. Bollinger dives back to first on the pickoff attempt. At the plate for Brookline now, the catcher, number 11, Jackson Fantuzzi. Fantuzzi got a single his last time up back in the second. Came in, his courtesy runner, Max Johnson, came in to score. Bollinger takes off again, swing and a miss, and Bollinger easily gets to second, standing up as Gregoire's throw came in kind of high without much speed on it.
And that's the second time that Hugh Bollinger has gone to steal second. First time on the flight, he had to go back to first, but this time he gets it. Now runner in scoring position for Brookline.
And if Fantuzzi can come through with a base hit to the outfield here, it could cut the lead down to 1. But that is strike 2, and his back is against the wall at 0-2 with 2 down.
It's a good breaking ball from Fucci, and Fucci has had better command this inning than in the second. Even with the walk to Bollinger, he's definitely settled down.
That one just misses. Ball 1. Catcher was trying to appeal to see if Fantuzzi went around, but the infield ump confirms that he checked his swing. 1-2 the count.
Fantuzzi, good power threat. Would definitely drive in this runner.
And that one's going to miss. Ball 2. Bollinger dancing off the bag at second, trying to get in the pitcher's head a little bit.
And that's what you really got to do as a base runner. Even if you're not stealing, just get in their head, try to affect the game in one way or another, but also not to distract the batter.
And Fucci takes a step off the rubber as Gregoire comes out for a mound visit, trying to settle him down after he misses the zone on the last couple pitches. He needs just 1 strike to get out of the inning with no score, but one big swing of the bat could cut this lead in half again and get it down to 1.
You bet. You're in the early going, about third, fourth inning. That's really the tone setter innings that a game can get away from you.
Here we go. Swing and a miss. Got him with the low breaking ball, and Fucci gets out of the jam.
Fucci's been able to set up the breaking ball with the hard fastball so well. It's the second strikeout this inning on that pitch. He got Ballin, he got Kaufman, and now Fantuzzi way early to end the third.
2 strikeouts that inning for Fucci, and that is 7 now through the first 3 innings. Had 2 in the first, 3 in the second, and 2 in the third, as he's been a very hard-throwing pitcher thus far.
He's been dominant.
And through 3, the score, Waltham 4, Brookline 2. In the top of the 4th, it's going to be the 7, 8, 9 hitters for Waltham: Agostino, Gregoire, and Grant.
Well, Agostino here, bottom of the order again. A good opportunity for Cody to settle in, and he settled in really well. A good opportunity for another clean inning here, as long as he can retire the side.
Yep, at this point, that's his job, is just keep this game close. And we saw the Brookline pitchers on Tuesday able to do much the same thing as Tuesday's starter, Devin Chin, gave up 3 runs in the first inning. Brookline was able to get 2 of those runs back in the third. And then from there, it was just a battle for Chin and then his reliever, Ellis Martino, to just try and keep it close. They did their job, but the offense couldn't find anything, and they ended up losing that one 4-2. We'll see if the Brookline offense is able to find any additional runs this time, as they are now down by an identical score to Tuesday's final, as they trail Waltham 4-2. Leading off for Waltham here in the top of the 4th inning is the right fielder, number 12, James Agostino. First pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1.
Agostino swinging behind the pitch of Ben Cody. He's been able to rev up the fastball. He's been throwing harder in the last couple innings than he did at the beginning, the opposite what Fucci's been doing. Fucci came out really hard, and then stamina has just kind of deteriorated a bit. He's been throwing softer pitches, relying more on his breaking ball.
And this one lined out to left, but in range for Martino. That'll be out number 1.
That one well hit from, and Jesse, that's an example of a well hit line out, but just you do everything right, but it just doesn't go for you.
It's like we said before, the difference between a good inning and a bad inning is sometimes just placement of the ball, and it can be the same for a batter.
And nothing you can do about that.
As that one placed not so well by Owen Gregoire, foul for strike 1.
That one placed almost hitting the fans, not what you want to do.
And interesting to note, there's some action going on in the bullpen for Waltham. Number 7, the extra hitter Devin Harris, warming up, although he's going to have to potentially come down in case he ends up on, because he will be on deck once Billy Grant comes to the plate. And Gregoire now facing an 0-2 count. Brief timeout called.
For time yet again.
That one drops low for ball 1.
Cody's trying to work the breaking ball. Again, take a page out of Fucci's playbook, set him up with the fastball, and then get him out in front on the breaking ball. But that one just a bit too low, bounced it. That one's not fooling anyone. He sets.
And gets him for strike 3.
Cody, that one curved around back into the strike zone. For strike 3, that's another strikeout on the breaking ball. And now he's pitching. Him and Fucci have pitched weirdly similarly this game. Cody, not the same strikeout numbers, but in their pitching style, it's really grown to be similar.
That one's going to miss high and away to Billy Grant for ball 1. And every pitcher, both pitchers I should say, have had at least one strikeout in every inning so far, as that one's going to miss for ball 2. A rare hitters count here, as Cody still has not issued any free passes this game. Swing and a miss as he chases that one low. Strike 1.
Oh, he's so good with his command. One of the things he does best, good breaking ball, good command, really consistent pitcher.
As he gets strike 2 there, 2-2 now, the count to Grant.
I know these high school games, command is everything. If you can command...
You can command the man to go back to the dugout as he gets strike 3 there, his second K of the inning. And he once again keeps Waltham off the scoreboard. We move to the bottom of the 4th. The score still Waltham 4, Brookline 2. For Brookline, 2 up will be the 5, 6, 7 hitters, Martino, Skeffington, and Klein. Skeffington, of course, had the biggest hit of the ball game so far, an RBI triple to right that drove in Max Johnson, the courtesy runner for Jackson Fantuzzi. That got Brookline their first run, and then, of course, Skeffington came in to score on what would have been an RBI ground out by Noah Klein, but he reached on a throwing error. And now we'll see. They are switching pitchers. This is very big here. Waltham, the first to switch pitchers here today, switching with the lead. And what's interesting about this, Sam, is that the rules for stat keeping for pitchers is that if you're a starting pitcher, you need to pitch at least 4 innings to qualify for a pitching win. And so Hunter Fucci, despite pitching a pretty solid game through those first 3 innings, getting 7 strikeouts, averaging over 2 strikeouts an inning, despite that, he would not be the pitcher on credit for the win if Waltham wins here today, because he only pitched 3 innings.
Well, Jesse, with all those strikeouts, the pitch counts are bound to go up. And at this age, they're really careful about arm injuries, not trying to let that go.
Especially with a hard thrower like Fucci.
You
I
bet.
mean, when you got
And
a
with all
guy
the
that
curveballs.
yeah, when you got a guy that throws that hard, you save that arm for the seasons to come and the innings he's going to pitch more when his arm develops more to be able to, better handle the strain that comes from throwing that hard.
And also, I was wondering what Devin Harris's role was, seeing how he wasn't playing in the field, but now he comes out, and that explains it.
Well, the extra hitter is a thing that's allowed. It's sort of similar to, how in Little League you let everybody bat even if they're not playing the field.
Yeah.
These summer leagues allow for a similar rule. You can have what are called extra hitters, which are you can have like 10 or 11 or 12 hitters depending on what your opponent allows you to do. And so sometimes you just have an extra guy. That's why there are 10 batters in the Waltham lineup, because Harris isn't a designated hitter. He's not taking the place of someone who's just playing the field and not hitting, the way that Doherty is taking the place of Sheehan in Brookline's lineup. When you're an extra hitter, you're just an extra guy in the batting order. But in this case, Harris is able to swap his position, and Fucci now becomes the extra hitter because he can stay in the batting order.
That makes sense.
Exactly.
So it was like Little League, sort of.
Sort of. They don't, there's no rule that says you have to let everybody hit, so they don't, have everybody hit. But, there's no rule saying you can only have 9 guys hit, so sometimes they have 10 or more. Now, leading off for Brookline here in the bottom of the 4th, the left fielder, number 21, Ellis Martino, as that one is going to miss high for ball 1.
Coming in, Harris trying to get that up and inside fastball, not throwing as hard as Fucci was. And we'll see what kind of pitcher he is. They revved that one up.
This time the high heat blows by him for strike 1. Martino, his last time up, went down on strikes in the bottom of the 2nd inning.
And Waltham's defense, they've been making sure that no holes come in.
That one gonna miss and also pop out of Gregoire's glove.
Another time.
Ball 2.
Gregoire struggled with it. There's been a lot of balls that have just came out of his glove. He struggled to handle. He's had a couple pass balls this game, and even in warm-ups.
So far, only one of those has backfired on him, as a lot of them have come with no runners on base. That one's a high ball 3.
Which wouldn't make it a real pass ball. Now 3-1. As the outfield shifts in.
And that one's going to miss to the outside, ball 4. And Martino starts him off with a free pass first. And what did we talk about earlier, Sam? We mentioned Waltham's struggles in the past couple of games they lost with keeping the ball in the zone. And this can be especially tough for relievers because it can be so throwing you off your rhythm when you're coming in, not as a specialist, but just coming in the situation.
And you just need to make your pitch. And I think when your only focus is to throw strikes, that someone gets you off, and then you're struggling to do that one thing you know you need to do.
And Harris does get the first strike on his first pitch to the Brookline second baseman, number 12, James Skeffington, as he fouls it to the backstop. Martino takes off. It's a high ball, close play. Martino slides in safe, almost popped up and went for third, but it didn't bounce far enough.
Amanda Dallas comes up and he saves the play. So Martino couldn't go to third. Coming up from center field in a crucial play.
And boy, that pitch was about the most ideal pitch for the fielders to try and catch a runner on. A high fastball, a quick transfer. Gregoire made it a close throw, but Martino slid in, and it looked like he might have actually, the ball might have bounced off his leg, as he might have been just like a half step ahead of it. As he gets the steal there. 1-1 is the count to Skeffington, with now a runner in scoring position for Brookline.
And as you were saying earlier, sometimes with a hard thrower, the goal is just to get him out of the game. Looks like that's what Brookline did with Fucci, and it's working out for them.
Well, it's working out so far, but Brookline's still yet to get any runs on the board as Skeffington fouls that one off for strike 2. You can't count your chickens before they hatch, and you still got to get that runner home. 1-2, the count to Skeffington. He's got 1 RBI hit today already and 1 run scored. Can he add more for Brookline's offense here? Oh! Oh, heard that one.
That one we could hear from all the way over here. That one was loud. Hope he's okay.
Yeah, fortunately, it hit a less sensitive spot, like it didn't hit his hand or his wrist or his elbow or anything. Granted, that's going to sting. You know, that you can see him walking it off. That's probably got to hurt like a son of a gun, but it was one of the better spots to hit in the back as opposed to like hitting the hip or the elbow or the knee or something. That said, the coaches are still going to take a look at him.
And that one was that had a loud crack.
Yeah, that's one of the louder hit-by pitches I've seen at this level. The Waltham pitchers, they throw hard.
Yeah.
Whether it's in the zone or out of the zone, you know they're bringing heat.
And their coach was saying they struggle with control.
He did talk to you about that before the game. And, you know, they've had their ups and their downs with their control so far today. But now 2 runners on for Brookline with back-to-back free passes. And this is a struggle that I see relievers especially have at this level. You come in, especially in a higher pressure situation, and if a couple pitches miss, it just throws you off entirely.
And you see this in the major league level, a lot of relievers with control issues too, not just here. I think especially where when your arm isn't fully developed, you don't have those mechanics quite down.
Oh, the throw gets away, and Martino just barely dodges the tag at third, and they take it on what was either a wild pitch or a passed ball. Noah Klein, the batter, showed bunt, pulled back, and so it was a weird situation where the hitters jumped as if the bunt was being laid down, but then had to pull back as the bunt was pulled back, but then took off running when the ball rolled away from Gregoire, turned into an absolute chaotic play.
And Alice Martino, he just got under the tag at third. That one's wild.
That one was wild, but the runners hold.
That pitch went behind him.
As it does, you know, blow past Klein's back.
Looks like Harris just rattled here in the 4th. As you were saying, Jesse, mechanics a little bit off, and it's just been like, it's been every pitch he makes, he's gotten a little bit more wild.
Well, you got to remember, these guys aren't specialists at this level. So a guy doesn't come in thinking, okay, my only job is to be a relief pitcher. And that one sails, but again, he's throwing them so hard and they're ricocheting so hard off the backstop that the runners are holding.
And here was such a short backstop at Warren Field. It's played to the strength of Waltham.
3-0 the count to Klein with runners at second and third, a potential tying run in scoring position. And that one's going to sail and bounce off a pole, as that is going to be a 4-pitch walk for Noah Klein. And Harris, his pitch is really flying out of control. And the coach coming out to talk to him, either to settle him down or to get somebody else in. I think they're going to bring somebody else in to pitch here, as this has just been a very rough outing for Harris. They're sending Fucci out to center field, as I think they're going to bring in the center fielder, Metallidis, to take over on the mound with the bases now loaded and with Brookline with a real chance to get something going on offense, potentially tie or even potentially take the lead, as they now got the go-ahead run on the bases.
With Jesse, with Michael Doherty up, dangerous hitter for Brookline in this perfect spot. Bases loaded, no outs. And Waltham's room. And any type of momentum that Waltham had absolutely stunted in this inning.
Yes, and, you know, it's not just, it's not Metallidis who's going to pitch. It's the first baseman, Billy Grant.
Billy Grant, the 9-hitter.
So Grant comes into pitch. Metallidis comes in from center field, takes first, and in place of Grant. And then Fucci takes Metallidis' place in center field. So Grant to the mound, Metallidis to first, Fucci to center. Those are our defensive changes.
Well, it's the second guy we've seen at the bottom of the order pitching, so you really get the gist of this Waltham team. A lot of these guys that bottom of the order are hitters, they are pitching specialists.
And I mean, it's the same thing with Ben Cody for Brookline, as he's at the bottom of their order as well. Not the most electric hitter, but an effective arm for Brookline. And the one exception we've seen, of course, Hunter Fucci, who not just a cleanup hitter, but an effective cleanup hitter, 2 for 2 at the plate so far today, including a run scored and an RBI. But all that potentially for naught if Brookline can get some scoring going. And with the bases loaded and nobody out, very high chances of that happening. The ways that a run could not score are almost fewer in this situation, because you would need either A, a strikeout, B, a shallow ground ball that they can throw to the plate for a force out, C, an infield pop out, or D, a shallow line drive to the outfield, or a hit to the shallow part of the outfield that is caught and can't work as a sac fly. But anything else, a base hit, a walk, a hit by pitch, a wild pitch, a passed ball, a sac fly, or an RBI ground out, even a double play.
Yeah, even a double play. They need a strikeout, and most likely they need a strikeout and then a double play. That's really hard.
As that one pops out of Gregoire's glove as Grant's first pitch flies high for ball 1. At the plate, the designated hitter, number 88, Michael Doherty.
Waltham's pitching struggles coming to fruition here in the 4th. Another one pops out of the glove of Gregoire. That's been a theme we've seen this game. He struggled to corral the ball.
Doherty fouls that one to the backstop, strike 1. His last time up, Doherty went down on strikes against Fucci. He's hoping to have better results here against Grant with the bases loaded. Tying run at second, go-ahead run at first.
That's the first pitch we've seen in the strike zone in a while for Waltham.
And that one does not get back to the strike zone. That is high for ball 2.
2-1, good count for Doherty to do some damage for Brookline here. With the bases loaded and no outs, super dangerous situation. The infield in for Waltham.
And Doherty lifts one over that infield, shallow right center. 1 run is in. Skeffington holds at third as they rifle it back into the infield. But Michael Doherty comes through with an RBI single to right.
Michael Doherty smoking that one into right. Perfect placement. And there was no way that anyone's getting to that. Doherty just smoked it on a line drive.
I wouldn't say smoked it. I would say maybe he stuck it in the microwave, as that was more of a bloop single rather than a hard liner. But he does come through with a big hit.
Yeah.
Now batting the pitcher, number 2, Ben Cody, hoping to add to his own cause. He could tie the game here with a hit, as that one gets away. But again, the hard ricochet off the backstop and the runner's hold.
That backstop has been saving them. If there's a deeper backstop, a couple runs are probably scoring in this inning for Brookline. And these wild pitches, they've been coming so hard that they've been falling back into play.
That one hits the zone for strike 1.
Billy Grain's been a little bit wild, but he's done a pretty good job to hit the strike zone here and then.
James Skeffington representing the potential tying run at third, as that one curves into the zone nicely for strike 2. And then Noah Klein, the potential go-ahead run at second with nobody out here, but a 1-2 count to Cody with the infield pulled in. And Cody lifts one, another blooper, again over the infield, and Brookline ties it up. Ben Cody comes through and adds to his own cause with a game-tying single.
Ben Cody just saved himself any possibility of a loss for now. Would eliminate that possibility, and that's a super bloop hit. He just looped it right in between the first baseman and right fielder. Couldn't have placed it any better.
I like that term. He super blooped it. I like that.
If the Doherty hit was a bloop hit, that's a super bloop hit.
I like it. I like it. Now at the plate after taking strike one there, the center fielder, number 42, Max Kaufman, as that one's going to be outside for ball one. Brookline now with a prime chance to take the lead. Noah Klein at third, the potential go-ahead run. Doherty at second, Cody at first. That one pops off the glove, but again, the runners decide to hold, and it seems like with no outs, Brookline's trying not to be too aggressive, especially now they got a tie game with no outs, because that one looked like one they could have possibly gone on, no hard ricochet, but they still held.
I don't think they need to be that aggressive, though, on the base pass with the way that they're hitting the ball. They're getting pitches to hit. Here from Billy Grant, I don't think they need to take that risk and give any type of momentum to Waltham.
2-1, the count to Kaufman, still searching for his first hit of the summer. Could get a big one here. Not on that pitch, as that's going to miss for ball three. And Sam, if one more ball misses the zone, Kaufman's going to get his first RBI of the summer off a bases-loaded walk.
Well, that's why I think either you get the walk or you get a pitch to hit.
And he gets the walk. Max Kaufman drives in the go-ahead run with his first RBI as a member of the 18U Lou Tompkins team. With this bases-loaded walk, Brookline takes the lead.
And Brookline here, 3 runs in this inning. They scored 2 in the second inning. And it's just been consistent hitting for Brookline ever since going down in a 4-0 hole. For those who are joining, Waltham took a 4-0 lead in the first inning. They were dominant. And then Brookline has been able to come back steadily, scoring 3 in this inning, finally taking the lead.
And hoping to add more as stepping up to the plate, taking ball one on that pitch, the right fielder, number 55, Hugh Bollinger. That one hits the zone for strike one.
Bollinger's been really good in the field, looking to make an impact with his bat.
He is 0 for 1 so far today with a walk and a stolen base. That one going to miss, low and away, ball 2. So right now, Doherty at third, Cody at second, Kaufman at first. Brookline leading 5-4 with still no outs in the inning. Big swing and a miss there as he chased that one high. Strike 2.
And that pitch elevated on him. Hugh Bollinger swinging under it. Fielders are back here. Only some of the infielders are in.
And that's going to go towards one of those pulled-in infielders as Metallidis is under it for the first out of the inning.
First out, but still, if they don't, barring a double play, Brookline can still drive in some runs. And they've had a good rally here in the 4th.
And coming up to the plate, the man who is second on the team in RBI, the third baseman, number 27, Elias Brendel. First pitch in the zone, strike 1. And you mentioned it, Sam, they've got the corner infielders pulled in, but the middle infielders pulled back exactly for what you were talking about. They've got them pulled back in the middle infield to potentially turn a double play as Brendel slices that one foul. But they've still got the corner infielders pulled in to account for any plays at the plate because you can still get the force there.
I'm bring the corner infielders in. But second and short are still backed up.
0-2, the count to Brendel. And that one is high, but secured by Gregoire, so it'll just be a high ball 1.
Billy Grant has been a little inconsistent here with the balls and strikes, but overall he's been able to get this inning under control for Waltham after a disastrous start.
That one misses, ball 2.
Curveball darted almost back, didn't get the call. That's a borderline pitch and a good pitch from Grant.
And that's a high ball 3, so Brendel fights his way back from an 0-2 count to a 3-2 count. One more ball, and we'll see another bases-loaded walk to bring in a run. Brendel skies this one. It looks playable. Gregoire tracking it, and he's got it for out number 2. So 2 back-to-back infield pop-ups for Brookline have kept them from getting any additional runs in, and now down to their last chance to keep the rally going, as up comes the catcher, number 11, Jackson Fantuzzi.
2 tough outs for Brookline, but still with the bases loaded. RBI opportunity for Fantuzzi, who's had a good day today.
1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout at the plate so far. His courtesy runner, Max Johnson, scored Brookline's first run. That one comes in high for ball 1.
Takes a breaking ball high. Billy Granny's been throwing primarily breaking balls. The fastballs have been out of command for Grant. It's been kind of hit or miss.
That one almost hit Fantuzzi, came in around his ankle, but skips past him, ball 2.
He's been able to get some of those fastballs in the zone. It's kind of like he's been streaky with it. He'll have periods of time where he's struggling to hit the zone, but periods he's been really solid. Like you saw with those two pop outs.
That one comes in high for ball 3.
And 3-0 in command. Proven to be important yet again. Fantuzzi working his 3-0 count.
That one he takes all the way. Strike 1. No reason to swing with a 3-0 count. 3-1 now the count, though. Bases loaded, 2 down, and what is now a 1-run ball game in Brookline's favor. Big swing and a miss for Fantuzzi there. Strike 2. He wanted all of that one.
Yeah, he wanted to crush that. Looked like he wanted to send it to the big 346 sign and left. And the way he was swinging that.
Now the payoff pitch. Runners go. Just misses outside for ball 4, and Fantuzzi gets a bases-loaded walk. Brookline gets their 4th run of the inning, gets a nice insurance run to add to their lead. Doherty trots home as the first run that will be credited to Grant this inning, as the first 3 were runners that he inherited from Harris.
That was a borderline pitch. And Jesse, you really wonder if all the runners stealing messed up the frame job of Owen Gregoire a little bit, affecting that borderline call.
Possibly. Now we cycle back as Brookline is now batted around the order. They are sending up the guy who led off this inning, number 21, Ellis Martino. And Brookline is doing a little bit of trickery on the base paths. What they're doing, they're bringing in Max Johnson as a courtesy, no, they're bringing in Owen Hoffman, number 15, as a courtesy runner for Fantuzzi. They're bringing in Johnson as a pinch runner now for as another courtesy runner, because Ben Cody is the pitcher, and he was the one at third. So that's a high ball 1. So 2 courtesy runners on the base paths. Johnson running for Cody. Hoffman running for Fantuzzi. Big swing and a miss for Ellis Martino, the left fielder, number 21, who led off this inning with a walk. Later came in to score the first run of this big rally for Brookline. Now facing a 1-1 count with the bases loaded and 2 down. That one going to miss to the outside, ball 2. Gregoire thought about a throw to first, but decided against it.
Would have left home exposed for a steal coming from third, double steal, and that would just absolutely wreck the morale of Waltham.
Big swing and a miss there from Martino. Strike 2. 2-2 the count. 2 down. Bases loaded. Brookline up by 2 here in the bottom of the 4th.
And Brookline have worked a lot of these long at-bats. It's been a lengthy inning. They put up a 4 spot so far.
That one fouled over the backstop and out of play. Count remains 2-2. Max Johnson, the courtesy runner, at third. Max Kaufman at second, and Owen Hoffman, another courtesy runner, at first. And he fouls another one off and stays alive. Some good defensive swings from Ellis Martino to keep the at-bat going.
Martino, at the very least, he's working up the pitch count of Billy Grant. That's what's really every at-bat has seemed lengthy this inning.
Swing and a miss. Chases the high heat for strike 3.
But a good at-bat from Ellis Martino. Works a long pitch count as the fourth inning ends.
That is indeed the end of the fourth, but a big bottom of the fourth for Brookline. They put 4 runs on the board and take a 6-4 lead. During this break between innings, I'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. I'd like to tell you about the Brookline Community Foundation. For over 100 years, the Brookline Community Foundation has been a trusted partner, supporting Brookline by investing in organizations and initiatives that help create opportunity and promote equity for everyone who lives, learns, works, and plays in our community. Among the foundation's many grant programs is the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School, which provides graduating BHS students with scholarships to help fund post-secondary education. Through the class of 2023, through the first 9 years of the scholarship, they raised over $1.4 million total and awarded over $180,000 to that class of 2023 last year for scholarships. Your help is crucial to supporting Brookline youth as they embark on the next steps in their educational journeys. Visit brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442 to learn more about the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School and how you can make a difference right here in Brookline. Once again, brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442. And remember, as always, you can find all that information in the description section down below. But now we're going to mix things up a little here, Sam, and we're going to have Sam take over as the play-by-play guy, give him some play-by-play experience for the last 3 innings of this game while I take over on color. So, Sam, it's your show.
All right, here, Brookline on top, 6-4 for all who are joining in the top of the 5th. Brookline put up a 4 spot off.
Bottom 4th.
Bottom 4th.
Yes.
Here in the top of the 5th, and Ben Cody pitching, swing.
That is strike 1 to Devin Harris, the extra hitter, number 7.
Devin Harris, extra hitter, and then he went around, pitched, and then walked 3 hitters, struggled with location, another swing and a miss, now 0-2. And Ben Cody, after that first, for all who are joining, Ben Cody, he gave up 4 runs in the first inning. From then on, he has just settled in, has been untouchable. Misses with a breaking ball there, and he's known for a lot of breaking balls, but he's really used his fastball more, and it's worked out for him. Here's the 1-2 from Cody. Pitch misses down low.
And you mentioned he got a rough first inning, but one of the things I've really come to love about Ben Cody as a pitcher is he's a mentally tough kid. You know, he gets, if he gets rattled by good hitting, he doesn't let it get to him. And, he's a guy who's good at throwing strikes. I mean, that was ball 3 there, but he has yet to allow any free passes this entire season so far. With this, his second pitching performance of the summer.
And in this league, walks, at this age, walks are what's really going to be key. A lot of Brookline's runs. This one's fouled off into the bleachers, but walks, Brookline was able to take advantage. All those bases loaded rallies that Brookline had, it was because of walks, stolen bases, when there's just less havoc on the base paths. Even if you're getting hit a little bit, it's going to do way less damage to give up a double here and then rather giving up 2 walks an inning.
Brookline had 4 walks and 1 hit by pitch during that bottom of the 4th rally that gave them the lead at 6-4, including 2 bases loaded walks that drove in the last 2 runs.
3-2 from Cody. Swing, and Harris drives it to right. It's going to be caught by James Skeffington.
Ooh, boy, I got to get used to being the color guy and still operating the camera on baseball. I've almost fell asleep there. My apologies, folks, for anyone worried about the bad camera work there. That was entirely on me. as Sam did his job very well.
It's fine. We're all getting used to it.
Yep.
It's only our third game It's only our second game working together
In
on
this
baseball.
Sport, yes. And our first time swapping roles here. But a good catch there by Skeffington and a good out induced by Cody as he's trying to work his way to another out here with an 0-2 count.
And Cody, and that one a breaking ball cut and a miss by Eric Fiorentino. As now we go back to the top of the order. Here's the 0-2 from Cody. Pitch, Fiorentino, another little line drive. Caught by Skeffington again, and 2 outs. And that's an example of what Ben Cody does so well. He gets a little bit of swing and miss. And then when the ball is hit, it's weak contact. And even when it's hard contact, still half the time the fielders can make a good play. He's going to get outs as he misses a breaking ball down low.
But they called it a strike.
Called that a strike?
They called that you got to look at the ump signal. As you made a good point there, as that one's a low ball 1. You made a good point about how he induces weak contact. Because, I mean, even if technically those were liners to Skeffington, barely. Like, those weren't hard liners.
They definitely weren't barrels.
Yes.
Just off the end of the bat, like sort of weak line drives. Those are easy out material.
Yeah. They weren't barrels. They were barely line drives.
For sure. Let's hear the 2-1 pitch from Cody. That one down low, and that is his first walk of the season.
Yeah, and I guess I got the count wrong. I thought I saw the ump throw a fist up for a strike.
Yeah, I saw a ball, and that first pitch was in the dirt.
Yeah, so
would have been surprised. I mean, the ump, he's had some calls here and there today, but I wouldn't think.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. That is the first walk that Cody has given up through what is now his 10th inning pitched so far this Lou Tompkins season.
It's Timothy O'Toole now on first base. Hunter Fucci grounds one to short, flip to second. The third out of the inning.
And a bit of a stretch there as the throw from Sheehan was a little wide, but Skeffington covered it well. Even with his left foot on the bag, which makes it a little harder to stretch, makes the grab there for a simple 6-4 fielder's choice.
Skeffington, a tough play, but he made it look easy. He just stretched it across his body like you were saying, Jesse. And now that's 4 straight scoreless innings for Ben Cody after a rocky first. He is really settled, and as you were saying, super mentally tough. He's played great.
Indeed.
And you would have never thought, I mean, with these sports, you never know how it's going to go. After the first inning, I never thought this game was going to go how it was, but
yeah. No, I mean, really, because we saw dominance from Waltham on both sides. We saw their hitters placing their hits so well, and we also saw Hunter Fucci, the starting pitcher for Waltham, look so dominant against the first 3 Brookline hitters. And it looks like it might, potentially be a Waltham shutout win, because Waltham has a history of putting out some really strong pitchers, especially when they face off against Brookline. They've had some playoff matchups in the past that have been absolute pitchers duels like you wouldn't believe. But, Brookline rebounded well. They found pitches they could hit. Like we talked about, they worked high counts against Fucci, which got a very strong pitcher off the mound. The relievers struggled a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Grant have a bounce-back inning here now that he's had a little time to settle into the mound.
As Grant was able to settle in that last inning, came in a really tough high-leverage situation. Harris
settled in eventually, but did still give up 2 walks and 2 base hits after coming in for Harris. Allowed, 3 inherited runners to score and 1 of his own allowed runners to score. So I think we're going to see probably a stronger inning from him here. At least I wouldn't be surprised if we did.
Here's Skeffington at the plate for Brookline. First pitch of the inning from Billy Grant. And he takes the ball. Hit that one up and inside.
Yep, but that one not as badly out of control as we saw some of the pitches last inning.
That one definitely a borderline pitch. Second pitcher, and Grant's right down the middle for strike 1. Now 1-1, the count to Skeffington. Skeffington made a couple good plays in the field the last inning in the top of the fifth.
He caught every out. Both pop-ups and the fielder's choice.
And Skeffington fouls that one off. In deep foul territory, fell out of a tree, and now it's 1-2.
Skeffington has been such a good batter for Brookline today. 1 for 2 with a triple, a hit by pitch, 2 runs scored, and an RBI.
He's been so good on the base paths. He takes a ball. He's going to peel down to first.
Ooh, that was so close to a swing. He just barely held that one back.
That one was really borderline. 2-2 pitch. Swung on, Skeffington to deep left. Deep into left center. It's going to be caught by the center fielder.
Hunter Fucci, who was moved out to center field after the pitching substitution. He tracked that one so well. That's what can be tough. Sometimes you give a ball a ride, but it just hangs in the air too long and gives the outfielder enough time to cover a lot of ground. And Fucci did cover a fair amount of ground to get into that left center gap. Well hit by Skeffington, but just not well enough.
And that ball, that looked like it was going to drop in for a double, but Fucci able to come over to it. Here Noah Klein up. Took a strike and now takes strike 2. And the 0-2 count from Billy Grant. Grant now, when he's commanded his pitches, he has done really well, but last inning he was a little bit wild, struggled with the walks, but his stuff has been good.
Yes. Misses that one high, but that's an okay count to miss on. And, you know, it definitely helps when you see a ball get hit that hard and you still get the out, your fielders back you up. Makes you feel a little more comfortable and in the zone to keep throwing your pitches.
You bet. This one taken down low, just below the zone, knee high. For ball 2, a little bit outside.
Yeah, it goes from the high heat to a breaking ball near the corner. These are strikeout pitches, but hasn't fooled Klein on them.
2-2 pitch to Klein. Noah Klein swing and a miss. Grant picks up his first strikeout of the inning, and now 2 down in the bottom of the 5th. Brookline up 6-4 over Waltham.
And that one looked a little bit slower than his fastball. It might have been slight off speed. It looked like Klein was a little out in front of it. You know, a good mix of pitches from Grant. You know, from the 0-2 count, he goes high heat, low and away, breaking ball, and then an off-speed pitch for the strikeout.
First pitch to Michael Doherty. And that's in there for strike 1. Sometimes, I've seen from Billy Grant, he's just revving from all these pitchers. They'll have like a slower fastball where they'll put a little bit less effort into it, and then they'll really rev it up when they need it. But you can never really tell when it's coming. Doherty takes a ball.
1-1 the count as Doherty, his last time up, got that bloop single to right, driving in the first run of that big inning.
Doherty takes another ball up high. That one a little bit outside. That's a slower fastball.
Grant seems to be focusing a little bit more on the outside part of the plate against these lefty hitters.
Doherty fouls that one back behind the Brookline sign. He smoked that one. And now 2-2 with Billy Grant. As you said, you have definitely been right about this, and Billy Grant has settled in really well against Brookline.
I'm telling you, there's an effect that it has on pitchers.
I think it's the high leverage.
You know, I think it really is just, you know, you have a bad inning. If you're tough enough mentally that you can shake that off and come back, and then if you get some, you know, get one out, get another out, you really start getting in that rhythm, get in that zone.
For sure. 2-2 pitch. Doherty swung on to the opposite field, and it goes into the fan section foul.
Yep, that one, he was a little behind that one. Might have been more of a defensive swing with 2 strikes. You know, once those arms start to move, when you got 2 strikes, you just got to, you know, follow through and get a piece of it.
You got to just somehow hit it. 2-2 pitch again, borderline. That one's called another ball by the umpire.
That one was high. That one was definitely high. Full count.
3-2 pitch from Billy Grant. Doherty
Draws a walk.
takes ball 4 outside. First base runner of the inning for Brookline. And now with a man aboard, they got Cody up.
Yep. And you see that there, you see the value of a good defensive swing. Keeps you alive long enough for the pitcher to make a mistake and give you a free pass.
Or even if you can't get a hit, just work the pitch count, like what they were able to do to Fucci. I mean, they shut him out of the game after 3 innings. Stealing is Michael Doherty. Slides in, ball gets away, and he's going to be safe.
The pitch itself, I didn't quite see. I think it was called a ball.
Looked like a ball to me.
Yeah. I'm going to assume it's a 1-1 count until I see something otherwise.
Most likely.
Yeah. Yes, he does signal 1-1.
1-1 from Grant. Doherty takes the lead off.
That one fouled off. Oops, sorry.
And Cody, that one just a little bit behind Ben Cody, a little bit behind these fastball pitches. Both the shortstop and the second baseman intending to second. Doherty a steal threat. 1-2. Pitch taken for a ball. Doherty slides into third, and he is safe.
Doherty getting great jumps. He's got the speed necessary, but he has such great jumps off the bag. No hesitation, perfectly timed with the delivery, and he moves all the way from first to third.
2-2 pitch. Taken for strike 3. Fastball right down the middle. Strike 3, and that ends the inning for Brookline. Now we'll go to the top of the 6th. Brookline up 6-4 over Waltham.
Yep, and that's the thing. You know, at the end of the day, you still got to get the run in. Good efforts on the base paths from Doherty. His 5th and 6th steals of the season, as he ranks pretty highly on the stolen base count on the team. Actually, the team leader in steals so far this summer, but ultimately unable to score. And so it's still a fairly tight game. Like we were talking about, a pretty good bounce-back inning from Grant. But, you know, Brookline's got a lead to work with. I'm going to be interested to see how long they stick with Cody. He's been very good since shaky first inning. But we saw Elias Brendel working out in the bullpen during the bottom of the 5th. He's back out there at his spot at third base. Cody back on the mound, you know, but you get deeper and deeper into a close game. You start thinking about, when do I bring in the bullpen guys?
I think maybe they're trying to save Elias Brendel for the 7th. He's been their closer as of late and over the course, and he was the closer for the high school team.
Yes.
For the high school team.
Yeah, no, I don't think he hasn't pitched yet this summer season. Haven't been really any save opportunities, as Brookline has either had blowout leads or they've trailed in a game where Brendel wasn't even there. So if he comes in, it will be his first pitching appearance of the summer.
So my guess, they're going to try to run Ben Cody this inning and then bring in Brendel for the next if Cody can lock this inning down. So he has not given up a run since that first inning. He really struggled here as Fucci is due up against Ben Cody. Start the top of the 6th. First pitch from Cody. Fucci takes a strike down low.
He expected that one to break a little bit more, but it just barely keeps in the zone.
Had just a little bit of break, and that barely tagged it. Second pitch swung on to right center. It gets through. Kaufman's trying to track it down. Throws it back in to Skeffington, and that's a double for Fucci.
Hunter Fucci has been so dangerous at the plate. His 3rd hit of the day, and this time for extra bases.
Hunter Fucci just drove that one into right center, and that's an example of just placing it perfectly, right in between the fielders.
You get good contact so consistently, and you're going to put it in good spots eventually. And Fucci putting it in good spots every single time so far.
First pitch to Aguirre. He takes ball 1 down low. Now Fucci on second.
And boy, now it's kind of the reverse. We saw at times Brookline threatening to cut the lead to 1. Now it's Waltham threatening to cut the lead.
So one swung on towards second. Throw to first received. Fucci goes up to third. So now 1 out. Runner on third with Fucci for Waltham. As an effective bunt for them.
That does work sort of effectively
Sort
like
of like a
sack
bunt-esque.
But I think they would rather a hit, because if that was a little more to the left, then that might have been out of Skeffington's range. He tracked it very well that time after playing further back in the infield.
Skeffington's been so good in the field for Waltham. Metadalis swinging a miss for strike 1. Skeffington, I think he's been the best fielder for Brookline this game.
He's certainly had a lot of balls sent his way and hasn't let them down since.
His breaking ball misses down and away for ball 1 from Cody, and now it's 1-1 the count.
Yep, and they've got Skeffington a little bit more left of second, as that's a wild pitch, but the runner holds.
It's away, and that's a backstop now, saving Brookline.
Yeah, the teams aren't looking to be aggressive in these situations. And it's interesting to see how, like you've talked about, sometimes they've pulled fielders different ways. The fact they're pulling him more to the left, it means they expect Metallidus to loop this one to the opposite field, which means Cody's working a lot of more off-speed pitches, less fastballs.
The pitch swung on towards Skeffington, corrals it, throw to first, run is going to score, and Metallidus is out at 6-5 Brookline.
Yes, does his job, brings in the run, but good job by Skeffington, because Metallidus was trying to make that a potential infield hit, and with how deep Skeffington was playing and how shallow that grounder came, it had a chance.
This one is swung on, popped up by Augustino, and it's going to be caught in the infield by Brookline, and that retires the side. And now we're going to the middle of the 6th. Brookline up on Waltham, 6-5. Bottom coming.
Yep. Well, Waltham is going to have one more chance to try and get this one back and get that last one run they need. They cut the lead in half, really mostly off that one big swing from Hunter Fucci. And again, the mental fortitude of Ben Cody to have your pitch hit that hard again for really the first big hit since the first inning, and still be able to settle in and get 3 balls that stay in the infield to get 3 straight outs. Granted, 1 run came in, but did his job and minimized the damage.
And I think, as we were saying earlier, Jace, this is anybody's game, and you got to do your job. There's 1 run that's not really gonna matter, because in these close games, you just got to win it. Just got to find a way.
Just got to do your job. Thanks, Belichick.
For sure.
Is that another new pitcher? That's another new pitcher for Waltham. That's Fiorentino, who's coming on the mound now in place of Grant.
As we were saying earlier, it's anybody's game, and this game has lived up to the hype. It's been back and forth. Waltham controlled at the beginning, then Brookline slowly came back. Now Brookline's in the lead. It's been great.
There's going to be a new catcher. Gregoire's been moved to first. That's a big change. You wonder if maybe there's... Oh, it looks like Metallidus is going to go to the catcher's spot. So Metallidus to the catcher's spot.
And then
Gregoire to first.
And then Connolly moves into center.
No, Fucci's still in center.
Fucci.
O'Toole is over at second.
As I saw the player number 2, not the number 2.
Yeah. Okay, so O'Toole, number 3, goes to second base. The shortstop is number 6, so Aguirre's moves from second to short. And Fiorentino was originally the shortstop, so that should about cover all those defensive changes. That can be some of the wild things is, is sometimes fielders can only play so many different positions, so you need to really shuffle things around. Though what's interesting to me is that we've got a new catcher. That to me suggests that Fiorentino might do things a little differently on the mound, might prefer, that Metallidus be his catcher for a certain reason. Some pitchers just like certain guys to be their catcher.
I mean, you take in the MLB, Adam Wainwright, Yadier Molina, they played so well.
Well, I mean, everyone wanted to pitch to Yachty. This is more like
Of course, not that kind of thing.
this is more like John Lester needing to pitch to David Ross.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, because like I mean, if I'm a pitcher, I want to pitch to Yachty or Molina.
But like with that special relationship that they
yes,
had,
yes,
like that kind of thing, maybe they have that.
no, that I understand on concept.
Yeah. Is here the bottom of the 6 starts. Max Kaufman due up for Brookline. Here's the first pitch from Fiorentino. Kaufman fouls it off. Max Kaufman's made good contact with the ball a couple times this game for Brookline.
He got a bases-loaded walk his last time up to drive in the go-ahead run.
Steal 1 to Kaufman. Take in, showed bunt, pulled it back, takes ball 1. That one bounced in the dirt.
And that's a typical pitcher strategy when you see a guy trying to sneak a bunt single past you. Throw it way low or way high. Make it so he can't square up well.
It's the 1-1. Pitch from Fiorentino. Max Kaufman. Ground ball towards first. Recovered. Fiorentino flipping it.
To Gregoire for out number 1.
Now. And it's 1 out.
Yep, that one.
Just weak contact.
Yeah, just chopped it. And with a high bouncer like that, if he put it up the third baseline, maybe he would have had a chance. But he put it up the first base side. No chance.
Fiorentino looking more like a pitch-to-contact guy, at least so far. Whereas the pitchers we've seen earlier were more strikeout guys. First pitch way inside to heal ball, and it hit him.
Yeah, that clipped him.
And we heard that one.
Yeah, just a little bit. It wasn't quite as loud as when Skeffington got
when
beamed.
Skeffington got hit, we heard that was like a boom.
Yeah.
That one, hope he's okay after that.
Yeah, well, he's
definitely
been playing
didn't
well
affect
since.
his play. He's played great.
But yeah, that's just a mistake there, as that one just hangs inside
Here
on
to
him.
Elias Brendel at the plate, swung on deep to left. Going back, and it is caught in left field by Connolly, who throws it back in. Bollinger has to stay at first, and now it's 2 outs for Brookline here in the bottom of the 6th.
Yep, gave it a ride, but another one of those ones that's just too high. Brendel's gotten a couple of those golf swings on his last couple at bats. They just haven't worked out for him.
Here, Fantuzzi at the plate, takes one down low. Bollinger's going. The throw is wide. He's going to third. Throw back in is going to be wide again. The backup player, Fiorentino, gets to it, but Hugh Bollinger gets 2 bases out of 1.
Good base running by Bollinger. Takes off on the pitch, recognizes that the throw is not coming in time, doesn't have to slide, and because he didn't slide when the throw went wide, he was able to keep his momentum and go down to third.
One note to Fantuzzi, misses down low for ball 2. And Fantuzzi's been clutch. As of today, one of the core hitters on this team. Here's the 2-0 to him.
1 for 2 so far with a bases-loaded walk his last time up.
Fantuzzi skies one to center, to left center, and it is going to be caught in center field to end the inning. That ends the 6th. One last chance for Waltham to come back. Brookline up 6-5, and we're going to the top of the 7th.
Again, just another ball where you just get under it a little bit. Pitches may have come in just a little bit faster than they expected because Fiorentino not quite as fast a pitcher, so they might have overestimated how slow the pitch was coming in.
Definitely not a strikeout guy.
Yeah, no strikeouts.
Just really good pitch to contact, got a couple pop-ups, and a really weak grounder from Kaufman. So
that was literally the first inning that Brookline did not have a strikeout at the plate. That's how much Waltham's pitchers have consistently been going for the Ks. And yet, it's Brookline in the lead right now as we head to the 7th and final inning, and it looks like they're sticking with Cody for now.
Cody looking for the complete game here. He has pitched so well today. And how incredible, what an achievement it would be for him. Giving up 4 runs in the first and rebounding for a complete game win. If he can do it,
Yeah, it's
not saying anything yet, but
yeah, it's a lot easier said than done. Granted, he's facing the bottom of the Waltham order with Gregoire, Grant, and Harris coming up, but only 1 run as a lead to work with. Gave up 1 run last inning, and he doesn't have that run to give anymore. And it really would be something, it wouldn't be a dominant win like he got against JP, but to be able to, grit out the win after such a tough first inning, like you said, even if he finishes with 4 earned runs in 7 innings, that's still a pretty solid outing, especially if that's what counts as your more worse outing.
And Jesse, I definitely think it's an achievement in a way different way. It's showing resilience because as a pitcher, not every game you're going to get a shutout. Like you did against JP, you're going to have to fight back with a not clean sheet when you struggle at part of a game, and he has just been stellar ever since. Ground ball to third, throw over to first, recovered. And now Owen Gregoire grounds out. 1 out here in the top of the 7th.
1 pitch, 1 out. It's every pitcher's dream. Great way to start an inning. And especially in the last inning of a 1-run ball game, that's exactly what you want.
And Ben Cody has been so good with the pitch-to-contact stuff. He's gotten hit hard every once in a while, but overall it's been smooth sailing for him. Billy Grant, who was the pitcher earlier for a couple innings for Waltham, he takes ball 1 up high. The 1-0, Billy Grant is going to sky it. Coming over is Skeffington, makes the 2nd out. 1 more out for Brookline.
Again, good pitch to contact there as he gets Grant to sky that one. And again, Skeffington staying busy at that second base spot and 1 out away.
Now bottom hitter in the order, Harris up. Ben Cody 1 out away from a complete game. And what an impressive game it would have been. It would be. Here's the 0-1. Pitch from Cody, swung on by Harris. That one is going way foul, and it's 0-2. No runners on. Brookline on top of Waltham, 6-5. Top of the 7th. 1 strike away from a Brookline win. The 0-2. Cody down low for ball 1.
Yep, he knows he's got a 2-strike cushion to work with here, trying to get him to chase some unhittable balls. Doesn't get him that time, though.
1-2 to Harris. Pitch from Cody, swing and a miss. Ben Cody with a complete game. He rebounds from a tough first inning where he gave up 4 runs. What a resilient game for him. And Brookline beats Waltham 6-5.
Fantastic effort from Ben Cody. We've been talking about his resilience, his fortitude, and he put that fully on display here. And a great mix of pitch to contact and strikeouts throughout the game. It's one of the best 5 runs allowed outings you're ever going to see from a pitcher, no question.
Just the mental toughness he had to come through in that first inning, especially because it wasn't even his fault. He wasn't getting hit that hard. It was some bloop hits that got through.
He was getting hit hard. A couple of them.
A couple of them
were
didn't,
loops. A couple of them were loops out to the opposite field, but a couple of them were hard pulls, especially that first double he gave up to Fiorentino.
Sure.
And yet he always maintained the confidence in his stuff. He always maintained confidence in the fielders behind him. He knew to play the percentages because baseball is a game of offensive failure. If you play the percentages, more often than not, when a batter gets bat on ball, it's going to be an out. So you can't be afraid to throw strikes because if you miss the strike zone, if you keep missing and drawing walks, then that is going to be a 100% chance that you don't get them out.
And that's what happened for the Waltham pitching. They had a lot of walks. Harris walked 3. Billy Grant walked a bunch of hitters.
Well, Harris only walked 2, but he hit 1. 5 total free passes in that 4th inning rally for Brookline. 4 walks, 1 hit by pitch as the relievers just kind of struggled with that one, and it will be Harris who will get the pitching loss, as he was credited with Brookline's 5th run scored, which was the go-ahead run at the time. Ben Cody, despite starting out on the hook for the pitching loss, gets the pitching win off the comeback win from Brookline.
It's an impressive win, and an impressive win for Brookline. This whole team came together, rallying down 4-0. They first got the 2 runs in the 3rd, and then they got the rally. They were patient, and then they got their walks, took their hits that they could get.
Yep, just took what the defense gave them. It was small ball incarnate, given that their RBI hits were bloopers as well. Like, not hard hit balls, but just well placed, taking advantage of the infielders that were pulled in because of the base runners. You know, manufacturing runs is what they call it, and there's no manufacturing better than Brookline baseball.
And they played great today. An
Yep.
impressive win all around. They should feel great about this win.
All right, well, Sam, thank you so much for joining me on this broadcast. This was so much fun.
Thanks for having me, Jesse.
And thank you all so much for tuning in today. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan alongside Sam Lowenstein. Remember, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all our upcoming live streams. And thank you to all those who contributed in the live chat. As things were heating up, we got a few more tuning in, including some Brookline ball players. Felix Hom saying, coming in from Brookline, let's go Brookline. Keenan Sawada and Ben Doctoroff, 2 of the players absent this week as they're traveling. Sawada with simple hands up emoji. Ben Doctoroff with a let's go Cody. Sharon Bollinger saying, thanks, Jesse and Sam. Thank you very much, Cheryl. And Barbara Jo Metzger saying, yeah, Brookline. So thank you all for the good vibes in the live chat today. Remember, if there's anything you'd like to say after the live stream is concluded, you can say it in the comment section down below. You can also go down below to the description section of the video where you can find some helpful links. There's a link and phone number for our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Community Foundation. Also, some helpful links pertaining to me, my personal website, jessesports.com. Find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Or if you want to skip past all that and email me directly with any questions or requests you may have, you can find my email on there. And remember to also follow me on Instagram, where I post highlights from previous live streams and the links to upcoming live streams. But for this particular live stream, that's going to do it. For Sam Lowenstein, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan from Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. Final score, Brookline 6, Waltham 5. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.